Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. A recent, I should say not recent release because I've been playing the game for years, but it recently came out in the full version so everybody is now enjoying it. So I hope you are all enjoying it, but we're going to do some videos because I've been playing through it again and now that it's been, completed. So what we're going to be doing today is the top 5 best light suits of armor, and so there's some caveats to this. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, recommendations, anything like that, leave them in the comment section below because, I plan on doing some content for this game, so if you'd like to see something, let me know. But basically, the things to keep in mind for this video are a lot of these sets are not really... It's kind of weird to put them into light armor, but basically I just wanted to find a way to show you guys and tell you a little bit about some of the unique sets of armor in this game. And so I just divided up all of the unique sets that I found thus far and separated them into light, medium, and heavy categories just to show them to you. But with that being said, we will rate them based on their armor value within that context. And keep in mind, I have, for the sake of comparison, I've upgraded all of them up to plus 16, which is where you start seeing diminishing returns, or at least that's where the price to upgrade stops going up. And I just wanted to keep it consistent across the board, since by the time I got to this point in the game where I wanted, I had all the stuff and I wanted to show it to you, I had lots of different levels of stuff, so I figured I'd level them all out at the same spot for the sake of comparison. So with that being said, I also utilized the other feature in the crafting system in this game, which is to reduce their weight. So all of the weight for the suits I'm going to be showing you today is going to be at 0, because you can do that using the crafting system in this game, and all of their armor values are going to be inflated past what they would be when you find them. Keep in mind that using this system, you can take any suit of armor or any item of armor that you like in this game, and you can make it weigh absolutely nothing and have as high of an armor value as you want if you're willing to invest the money and resources into it. So that's one of the nice things about this game. But with that being said, there was a lot of talking, so let's just dive on into it with number 5. And so at number 5, we are taking a look at the Battlemage Armor, which you can see I have equipped on here. This one is one of the few sets in the game which actually has all 5 matching pieces, so that's pretty cool. There's not a lot of extra work to do into this one. All of them are blue, and keep in mind that all of the videos, or all of the pieces of armor that we're going to be looking at in today's video, and I've got 2 more videos planned kind of like this, we're strictly just looking at the blue quality stuff that I found. If you want to see, there are some pretty cool suits of armor you can make with just the regular white quality armor. I could do that too if you want, so let me know down in the comment section. But the Battlemage Armor is made up of the Battlemage's hood, the Battlemage's tunic, the Battlemage's trousers, Battlemage's boots, and the Battlemage's gloves. So like I said, they all match. As far as armor values on here, you can see we have 11.5 for the hood, 13 for the tunic, 13 for the trousers, 11 for the boots, and 11 for the gloves, giving us a total of 59.5. So like I said, not very, very high, but pretty good considering the perks. So this one is obviously made for being a battle mage, so you're going to be casting spells in this one, hopefully not taking a lot of physical damage. So this one is pretty good for that. Pretty much the best magic user's suit of armor in the game. So the hood has 2 perks, increase max mana by 26 and increase spell power by 31%. The tunic has increased mana regeneration by 6.2 and increase magic critical chance by 5%. The trousers increase max mana by 21 and increase spell power by 21%. The boots increase max mana by 26, and the gloves increase max mana by 26. And I've also added relic slots to all these, so every single one of these items, you could slot 2 different armor relics into them. So you can make it even better than this. Overall, it's, like I said, it's a decent enough looking suit of armor, and you could use it for anything, but obviously it's intended for a battle mage. The nice thing about the suit is if you want to get your hands on it, it's really easy. So if you want to get your hands on this one, all you got to do is make your way to the north part of the Horns of the South map. So you can see we are currently located at the Horns of the South. If you follow this road all the way up until you get to the Tomb of the Good Druid, that is where you're going to want to go inside to get this suit of armor. It is located in a chest up on a little cliff real near the entrance, but basically you just go through the whole Tomb of the Good Druid, and once you get to the end of it, which brings you back to the door to exit, there'll be a little locked chest sitting there, and all you got to do is pick the lock, and the full suit of armor is in there. So that's number 5, the Battlemage Armor. Let's move on to number 4. At number 4, we have the Armor of the Waning Moon, or the Waning Moon Armor. This one is made up of the Cowl of the Waning Moon, which has 12 armor and gives you increases mana generation by 7.4 and increases mana regeneration by 66% when below 25% max mana. The Robes of the Waning Moon, which has 13 armor and it has 2 perks. Taking damage restores 21 mana and increases max mana by 31. The Breaches of the Waning Moon, which have 11 armor and they increase max mana by 26 and increase mana regeneration by 9.4 when not in combat. The Traveler's Boots, because we do not actually have a set of boots that matches this set, and I like the Traveler's Boots for a lot of these suits of armor, so you'll probably see them pop up a lot. They have 19 armor, and they increase your movement speed multiplier by 10% when not in combat. And the Wraps of the Waning Moon for our gloves, which are 11 armor, and they increase spell power by 26%, and increase spell power by additional 31% when health is lower than max mana. So you can see this one is another one that is obviously intended for a magic user, and it is pretty cool looking as far as the overall appearance of it, very unique. As far as getting your hands on this one, it is also pretty simple and straightforward. You can do it early in the game. This one is one that you'll get, or you'll unlock it through all the druidic shrines across the map. So you can see, like, there's one right here, there's one right down here, there's one over here on the beach, there's one over here by the mansion by the beach, there's one right here, there's one over here on the coast. And all you have to do at any of these druidic shrines is make an offering, and there's like 6 different things you can offer, like blood clots and brains and stuff like that. And it doesn't matter which one you offer because each site has its own unique drop that you'll get from it. And so if you go around and make an offering at every one of these druidic shrines, you'll get this full suit, as well as, like, I think a couple of them give you spells and stuff. So it's fairly simple and straightforward to collect it all, and it is pretty solid as far as light armor goes. But that's number 4. Let's move on to number 3. All right, at number 3 we have the Necromancer's Armor, which it shouldn't shock you to find out is another spellcaster armor. So this one is only 2 of the pieces actually match the set, and they are the Necromancer's Mask and the Necromancer's Robe. And you can actually get your hands on those through one of the first missions that you'll encounter in the game, which is where you have to go down into the Cursed Mausoleums, which you can see is just north of the fortress there, and you'll be essentially figuring out what a necromancer is doing there. And at the end of it, there's like a bunch of different ways, but basically you'll be taking out the necromancer and taking these 2 items off of him, and that's how you get your hands on them. The other items that make up the suit are 2 that we've already looked at, so the Wraps of the Waning Moon and the Breaches of the Waning Moon from the last set, and then the Battlemage's Boots from the first set. So it's a bit of an amalgamation of 3 different sets, but the part that you can see the most is the necromancer stuff. And as far as the perks, we've already talked about these ones, but the Wraps of the Waning Moon have 11 armor, the Breaches of the Waning Moon have 11 armor, and the Battlemage's Boots also have 11 armor. The Necromancer's Mask has 18, and it increases your max mana by 10, and the Necromancer's Robe has 19 and increases your max mana regeneration by 2.5. So depending what other items you use, your perks for using this one as a spellcaster might be slightly different, and you might like it more or less than any of the other suits we've looked at so far for that, but it does have a little bit better armor value protecting you in combat, which is why I placed it at number 3. So that is the Necromancer's Armor. Let's move on to number 2. Coming in at number 2, our runner-up is the Festering Armor, and this is one that you can craft, which I'll show you how to do that, I suppose. But first, let's go through the items. So this one is made up of the Festering Helm, the Festering Chest Guard, and the Festering Arm Guards. Those are the 3 matching pieces. And then we've thrown in the Hunting Trousers and the Traveling Boots, or Traveler's Boots as well. So the Festering Helm has 12 armor, and it increases your stamina regeneration by 13, and increases your max stamina by 3.6. The Festering Chest Guard has 13 armor, increases your stamina regeneration by 15, and increases max stamina by 4.6. The Festering Arm Guards have 10.5 armor, and increase stamina regeneration by 11, and increase max stamina by 2.6. And then, of course, the Hunting Trousers that we've added on decrease the stamina cost of dashes while a bow is equipped by 5, and they give you 19 armor. And the Traveler's Boots have 19 armor, and they increase movement speed multiplier by 10% when not in combat. So this is the first suit on this list that is not strictly a magic user's set. You could, obviously add some relics in there and wear some like jewelry that could possibly make it better for that. But realistically, this is the first one on the set that is intended for either melee combat or as a ranged type of unit. So that is the Festering Armor. As far as getting your hands on these 3 pieces, like I said, you can craft it, and you can do that right here in the Horns of the South. So basically, all you'll have to do is talk to Osbert here, right when you get to the Horns, and he will give you missions where you start smithing things, and then, show them to him, and then he'll give you some more schematics. And all you have to do is craft them. So you go into the handcrafting section, and you're going to be looking for the Festering Chest Guard, which requires 6 iron ore, 6 leather, and 6 blood clots to craft. The Festering Helm, which requires 4 iron ore, 4 leather, and 4 blood clots. And the Festering Arm Guards, which require 2 iron, 2 leather, and 2 blood clots. And of course, if you aren't already familiar with the process, this is also where you can upgrade things, which will also cost you, it's usually similar to what it takes to smith it. So for the Festering Arm Guards, for example, you are going to need 2 leather, an iron ore, and a sharpening stone for each upgrade, as well as however much money that it requires for that level. Like I said, once you get to level 16, it caps out, usually at 50 or 60,000. And then if you want to reduce their weight, since we've been doing that for all of these sets, you go over into armor weight reduction, and you do the same. You can see all the ones I have in my inventory are already reduced all the way down to 0, but it's a similar thing. You need some resources and some money, and you can just reduce the weight down. So that is the Festering Armor, which comes in at number 2. Let's move on to our number 1 best suit of light armor in Tainted Grail. All right, at number 1, we have the Flayed Drowner's Armor, which, despite looking really stupid, is actually pretty good stat-wise and has some pretty cool stuff. So this one is made up of the Flayed Drowner's Conch, which has 11 armor and increases your max health by 13.2, and it allows you to spend more time underwater. The same thing can be said about the Flayed Drowner's Carapace, that has 12 armor, increases your max health by 18.2, and also allows you to spend more time underwater. So those are the 2 that match for this suit. Then we've added in the Parrying Gauntlets, which have 18 armor and enhance the parrying window that you have. The Traveler's Pants, which we've looked at several times already, which have 18 armor and they increase movement speed multiplier by 5% when not in combat. And the Traveler's Boots, which have 19 armor and increase movement speed multiplier by 10% when not in combat. So as far as getting your hands on the Flayed Drowner's pieces, it's going to be very similar to the Festering ones that we've already looked at. It's here in the Horns of the South. You'll talk to Osbrit and, you'll go through his different line of weapon or armor crafting missions, and then you'll be able to craft them. Actually, as you can just see, I missed that. I totally thought there were not gloves for this set, but you can in fact also craft the Flayed Drowner's gloves. But you can see the Flayed Drowner's Carapace and the Flayed Drowner's Conch here. So to craft them, you will need 10 iron, 1 Drowner Heart, and 3 Drowner Tongues for the Carapace. For the Conch, you'll need 6 iron, 5 Drowner Tongues, and 5 leather. And then for the gloves, which we just crafted, you'll need 3 iron, 3 tongues, or 3 Drowner Tongues, and 3 leather. And now we should go into upgrade, since we actually have those, and let's upgrade. We'll go, it says 2 there for some reason, even though we have leather, but let's see. So I have my skill maxed out, so it automatically put us at +6, so we just have to go up to +16. So just watch how expensive this is. Okay, so we're up to 16. You can see that our max health went up, and our armor went up to 12 from 7. And so now we actually have them equipped, so that's exciting. I totally thought that there were not gloves for that set, but we learned on the fly that there were. But that is how you get your hands on the Flayed Drowner's Armor. While we're at it, we can also reduce them. So you can see they start off by weighing a pound, so if we reduce the weight, we'll need iron ore and sharpening stones, as well as 130 gold. So we did that once, it brings us down to 0.9. So we'll have to do it 10 times to get all the way down to 0. So that one is now fully unweighted, and if we want to put relic slots on it, we're going to need 1,000 more gold. So 500 for one slot and 500 for a second one.
That happens today.
So that is the top 5 best unique-ish blue level suits of light armor in Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon, and roughly how to get them all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I plan on doing medium and heavy armor as well, following basically the same rules as today's video. If you'd like to see anything else, let me know, but that's all for today. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.